So let's talk about the objectives of competition law and policy. How do you handle the contradictions between, say, economic efficiency and, as you said, economic equity?
There is no disparity between the two. In fact, these two things go hand in hand. If I could take you through the Competition Act and its history for a moment, well, if I may say again, I was fortunate that soon after my return from the World Bank early last year, I was appointed as the first chairman of the Competition Commission. Although the Competition Act had been passed in 2002, but somehow it couldn't be made operational for a few years because of some legal problems. Coming back to Competition Act, the history actually it could be traced back from 1991 after the commencement of the new economic policy, which was launched by the then finance minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh, now the Prime Minister. When he opened the economy, it was mentioned in the policy statement itself. The objective was to bring in competitive edge and efficiency in the economy and integrate it with the world trends. So altogether, that gave rise to new thinking and newer trends. Lot of restraints in the growth were removed. MRTP, which was a legislation of pre-reform era, MRTP of 1969, for example, it placed a cap or a curb on growth. Above a certain size, they had to seek permission and so on and so forth. But in the new thinking, growth per se was not bad. In fact, it should be encouraged, or dominance even for that matter. But it's the abuse of dominance which is bad. It's the behavioral pattern. It is not the size which is material. It is the structure or the behavior which is. So on the objectives of the Competition Act, which is the new legislation. By the way, there are more than 120 such regimes, the competition regimes. We are one of the newest, the latest to join the field. The objective is to promote best efficiency in economy and in production and distribution. So everything goes hand in hand. There is no contradiction. It results in best allocative efficiency and also the optimum static and dynamic efficiencies, maximize them. Also results in maximum or maximization of consumer surplus. If you look at the graph, how it is maximized, it's so simple. And similarly, maximization of the producer surplus. So everybody stands to gain. It's a win-win situation for everyone: the producers, the distributors, the consumers. In a perfect economy and perfect market, which of course is difficult to achieve, everybody would be able to gain the maximum possible in any economy. There have been various studies, contemporaneous studies in United States, for example, which is one of the oldest in the competition agencies, indicating that there have been up to 25% saving or even more for the consumers in various sectors like telecom, like transport or energy and so on, after introduction of competition. Even in India, take a look at the telecom, for example, and I am particularly fond of citing the competition example in telecom. I used to be additional secretary in the Ministry of Telecommunications from 98 to 2002, during which period this NTP 99 national this telecom policy, new telecom policy, was initiated, and this mobile telephony was opened and so on and so forth, I mean, to competition and all the rest of it. And you see the result now. Our telecom services are one of the best in the world, and the rates are probably the lowest. So, competition can bring out the best in you, and you also see it in what our young boys and girls have done in Silicon Valley, for example. So, when they are faced with competition, it is the best which comes out from them, and Indian brains and Indian capabilities are considered to be second to none. Look at what our Indian professionals they have achieved in various countries outside United States. Again, for example, the Indian lawyers, Indian doctors, medical practitioners, engineers, chartered accountants, management professionals, they are among the top. Look at any ethnic group, and I feel given the opportunity and removal of any constraints which may exist here also, they would do the same here too. So, there is no dearth of talent in our boys and girls, and since we are passing through what we call as demographic dividend, I am very optimistic about a country, and I think this competition can bring out the best. And in markets similarly, our entrepreneurs, our industry, their contribution to the growth of Indian economy has been absolutely remarkable throughout. And I feel that in manufacturing, in services sector, and similarly in agriculture, probably it needs a little more attention, and by induction of proper technology, and by proper storage and marketing facilities, and by removal of any further bottlenecks, I think we should be able to achieve the kind of growth which we would like to see, as a result of which our objective and our dream of very high growth, which we are confident we will achieve, also with equity, which is our objective, should be achieved.
So, coming back to the issue of competition law in a developing economy, what are the factors you would consider when exemption is granted to a sector?
Normally, as I said, competition is not an end in itself. So, we are not advocating competition for the sake of competition. Competition should result in accelerated economic development and better efficiencies, better allocative efficiencies, and so on. If there are any sectors where it is felt that competition is not going to bring in these benefits, possibly there could be a case, but so far no exemption has been granted to any sector from applicability of Competition Act.